He's guilty. Look who is facing the death penalty for desertion, misbehavior before the enemy. When the Taliban first captured Bowe Bergdahl, he was disheveled, fearful, and in need of hydration. He spent years in captivity and was supposedly coerced through threat of torture to create propaganda films, not unlike the 38 films that Senator John McCain made for the North Vietnamese while he remained in captivity at the Hanoi Hilton and other prison camps. The emergence of these films prompted the State Department under then-President Obama to break nearly 200 years of military and government tradition of not treating with terrorists. Barack Hussein Obama, as we came to discover over the course of 8 years, was cut from the same cloth as the French, the Spanish, and the Italians who parleyed with terrorists in order to exchange their captured soldiers and citizens for held terrorists. The result there in those countries was, expectedly, a stepped-up number of attacks after the deal was made. Obama dealt with the Taliban in exchange for Bergdahl and released 5 of their terrorists in our custody. Leftists the country over, oddly enough, were all in for the hero who abandoned our armed forces. They did story after story about his bravery and attempted to tilt the public opinion in favor of a full pardon for him by the president. Fortunately, that never occurred, but the die was cast and the left was solidly in his corner when it came to the fake news industrial complex running one fawning story after another about the coward who abandoned his post. Now, he is reported to plead guilty to the charges against him and could possibly face the death penalty. Independent Journal Review. According to the Associated Press, disgraced U.S. Army Sergeant Bowe Bergdahl will be pleading guilty to 2 of the harshest crimes you can commit in the military, desertion and misbehavior before the enemy. Bergdahl should be worried. Both of those offenses carry maximum penalties of death. You can be sentenced to death for desertion in time of war, according to military.com. Desertion carries a maximum punishment of dishonorable discharge, forfeiture of all pay, and confinement of 5 years. For desertion during a time of war, however, the death penalty may be applied, at the discretion of the court-martial. The penalty for misbehavior before the enemy is just as harsh. According to 10 U.S. Code Section 899, Art. 99. Any member of the armed forces who before or in the presence of the enemy, running away, shamefully abandoning, surrendering, or delivering up command, unit, place, ship or military property, endangering safety, casting away arms or ammunition, cowardly conduct, quitting place of duty to plunder or pillage, causing false alarms, willfully failing to do utmost to encounter the enemy, failure to afford relief and assistance, shall be punished by death or such other punishment as a court-martial may direct. According to Fox News. During the presidential campaign, Donald Trump called Bergdahl a dirty, rotten traitor during a town hall in August 2015. Trump also tweeted in 2015 that Bergdahl should face the death penalty. Bergdahl's sentencing starts October 23. I remember when I was still in boot camp and learning the general orders. Number 5 is the one that sticks with me for some reason and always has, and it involves the abandoning of a post. 5. To quit my post only when properly relieved. It should be fairly obvious that you should not leave your post until someone has come to take your place or until the petty officer of the guard has told you that the watch is no longer necessary. If the person relieving you is late, report it to the petty officer of the watch, but do not quit your post. If you become ill and can no longer stand your watch, notify the petty officer of the watch and he or she will provide you a proper relief. This is the order that Bergdahl violated, and this is the reason why it is such a big deal. Breaking this very basic order that is drilled into your brain when you're still a maggot or knucklehead, 2 of my favorite drill sergeant insults which, most likely, are banned by now, is like going for your SAT test and using a number 1 pencil, or showing up an Antifa rally without your barbed wire baseball bat. It's just common sense. By not harshly punishing this fool, you innocents are telegraphing a message to all potential maggots